The night on Earth was quiet. The sky was full of stars, and a silver moon was shining. The alien girl named Lyra stood by the window of her small room. She had come from a faraway planet where silence and calm ruled every part of life. Her people believed that loud sounds were dangerous, and sudden noises could harm the mind and body. For her, peace meant soft voices, gentle winds, and the slow rhythm of heartbeats. But tonight, something strange broke the silence. A deep vibration rolled through the walls. It was heavy, sharp, and full of energy. Lyra's pointed ears twitched. She covered them quickly, her eyes wide with fear. The sound was like thunder, but it did not stop. Instead, it grew louder and faster. Pounding like the steps of a giant, her heart raced. She thought maybe Earth was under attack. She had heard stories of human weapons, and in her mind, this had to be one of them. She looked around the room, her body shaking. The strange noise came from the next room, where a human boy lived. His name was Ryan, but Lyra did not know much about him. She had seen him smile in the hallways, carrying a strange wooden object with strings. She thought it was just a tool, but now, hearing the thunder-like sound, she was sure it was a weapon. Lyra's hands shook as she pressed them harder against her ears. Her people always told her that too much noise could drive someone mad. The pounding sound hit her chest, as if her body was being attacked. She whispered to herself in her alien tongue, praying the noise would stop, but it did not. It grew stronger, mixed with strange, sharp cries that almost sounded like a voice. The walls seemed to shake, and she stumbled back, her breath fast. She imagined humans were testing their weapons again, and she was trapped in the middle. Lyra's fear pulled her toward the door. She wanted to run outside, but her legs froze. Curiosity and terror fought inside her mind. What if she opened the door and saw the human holding a weapon of sound? What if the noise struck her down? Her people had always warned her. Humans are strange. Humans are wild. They play with danger as if it is fun. Maybe this was the proof. Maybe Ryan was showing his true nature. The sound suddenly paused. Silence filled the room. Lyra's chest rose and fell quickly. She pressed her back to the wall, afraid to move, but before she could calm herself, the sound began again, louder and wilder than before. It was as if the earth itself was breaking apart. She bit her lip to keep from crying out. Her alien eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Filled with both fear and wonder, the sound carried a strange power. It was not like thunder or storms. It was controlled, shaped, and alive. Lyra felt something unusual. Beneath the fear, there was also a pull, like the sound wanted her to listen. Her mind told her to run, but her heart whispered to stay. She slowly stepped closer to the wall, pressing her ear against it, inside Ryan's room. He was playing his guitar. The music was hard rock, a sound full of fire. He lost himself in the rhythm, his fingers flying across the strings. He did not know that the alien girl next door believed she was hearing a weapon of war. Lyra gasped as the sound shifted again, softer for a moment, then rising like a wave. She could feel Ryan's heartbeat inside the music. She could almost sense his emotions. The fear inside her grew stronger, but now it was mixed with something new, something she did not understand. Her people said sound was dangerous, but this sound felt like it carried meaning. It was frightening, yet also alive. She wrapped her arms around herself, trembling. She did not know what to believe anymore. The night passed slowly, but the music kept playing. Every note was like a hammer on her fear, but also a key opening a hidden door in her heart. By the time the music stopped, Lyra's eyes were wet with tears. She did not know why she was crying. Was it fear? Was it something else? She sank to the floor, her body shaking. The silence after the music felt heavy. She whispered to herself, "What was that?" Her voice trembled. She knew tomorrow she had to face Ryan, She had to ask him what kind of weapon he carried, and why it made her heart feel so strange. And so, the night ended with fear, suspense, and a question that would change her life forever. The morning sun lit up the small human town. Birds sang outside, and the streets slowly filled with life. But inside the house, Lyra sat quietly at the table. Her alien fingers tapped nervously, and her glowing eyes looked toward the door across the hall. That was Ryan's room, the place where the thunder sound had come from last night. Her mind was still troubled. She had hardly slept. The music had shaken her, and even in her dreams. The strange sound echoed. She remembered the fear, the pounding in her chest, and the tears she could not explain. Today, she wanted answers. Ryan walked into the kitchen, yawning and stretching. His messy hair stuck out in all directions, and his hands carried the same wooden object she had seen before the guitar. He smiled when he noticed her staring. "Good morning, Lyra," he said kindly. His voice was calm, not dangerous at all. Lyra's eyes narrowed. Her people had taught her to be careful. Humans could smile while hiding danger. She pointed at the guitar, her voice low. "That thing. Last night, it made the walls shake. It felt like a weapon." Ryan blinked, then laughed. Not in a cruel way, but in surprise. "A weapon? Oh no, this is not a weapon." He held up the guitar proudly. "This is music." The word confused Lyra. She tilted her head. "Music?" "Yes," Ryan said, pulling out a chair and sitting down. "Music is sound made on purpose. It's not meant to harm. It's meant to share feelings. You heard me playing last night. That was called rock, a type of music humans love." Lyra crossed her arms. It was loud. It was painful. "I thought you were trying to destroy something." Ryan looked at her with curiosity. "On your world, don't you have music?" "We have soft songs," she said carefully. "Gentle voices, like flowing water. We sing for peace, for calm, never for chaos like that." Ryan chuckled softly. "Chaos is part of life here. Lyra, humans carry storms inside, and music is how we let it out. Rock music is powerful, yes, but it is not made to hurt. It is made to be felt." Lyra frowned, her thoughts spinning. Could sound be more than danger? Could it carry meaning? Her heart still remembered the strange pull she felt in the middle of her fear. Ryan leaned forward, his eyes bright. "Tell you what, I'll show you. Not the heavy stuff. Something easier, softer. You can see for yourself." Lyra hesitated. Her hands gripped the edge of her chair. Every part of her training told her to refuse. Noise was dangerous. Sound was harmful, but her curiosity burned stronger than her fear. She gave a small nod. "Show me." Ryan's face lit up. He gently placed the guitar on his lap. His fingers moved slowly this time. The first note was soft, smooth, like a gentle breeze. Lyra flinched at the vibration, but did not cover her ears. The sound did not attack her chest like before. Instead, it floated in the air, warm and calm. Her eyes widened. She felt the notes wrap around her like light. Her breath slowed. The fear inside her eased. Ryan's hands moved with care, and the sound grew into a melody. Not wild, but peaceful. "Do you feel it?" Ryan asked softly. Lyra nodded slowly. "It is different. It does not hurt. That's music too," he said. "It can be soft. It can be hard. It can make you cry, or it can make you smile. It depends on what you play." Lyra tilted her head again. "Last night. Why did it sound so angry?" Ryan smiled faintly. "Because rock is passion. It's fire. It's a way to let go of pain and strength all at once. Humans carry many emotions inside us, sometimes to many music helps us survive them." Lyra's chest tightened. She thought of her own people, who avoided all strong sounds. Maybe they had locked away something important. Maybe they were missing a piece of life. Ryan played a few more soft notes, then stopped. I didn't mean to scare you, Lyra. I was just playing for myself. I never thought it could sound like danger to you. Lyra looked at him carefully. His eyes held no malice, only truth. Her heart still held fear, but now there was also curiosity. She wanted to hear more. She wanted to understand. Maybe? You can teach me, she whispered, almost surprising herself. Ryan grinned. Of course, I'll start slow. And when you're ready, maybe. I'll show you real rock, not to hurt you, but to let you feel what humans feel. Lyra lowered her eyes, unsure if she was ready, but deep inside, something told her that this human, with his strange guitar, would change everything she believed. And so, the alien girl who feared sound agreed to listen, not knowing that her fear was about to turn into something far greater. The next evening came quietly. The sky was painted with orange and purple as the sun sank. Lyra stood at her door, her hands pressed together. She could feel her chest tighten. Tonight, Ryan had asked her to come listen. The idea alone made her skin prickle. She was not sure if she was ready, but something inside told her to go. She stepped into the hallway. Every step felt heavy. She could hear faint sounds already. Ryan was tuning his guitar, strings humming like whispers. The small noises made her ears twitch, but it was not painful, not like before. She took a deep breath and knocked on his door. Come in, Ryan's voice called. Warm and welcoming. The door slid open. His room was filled with posters of humans holding guitars. Strange symbols and flashing lights captured on paper, too. Lyra, it looked like a warrior's den, yet Ryan sat calmly on a chair, his guitar resting gently in his hands. He smiled. Glad you came. Lyra stayed near the door, her arms crossed tightly. Only for a little while, she said. Her voice was firm, but her eyes betrayed her nervousness. Ryan nodded. That's okay. You don't have to stay longer than you want. Just listen, he began softly. His fingers brushed the strings, and a gentle melody filled the room. It was smoother than the wild storm she heard before. The notes were like ripples in water. They moved carefully, softly. They did not crash into her chest, but touched her ears like feathers. Lyra's body tensed at first. Her instinct told her to cover her ears, but she forced her hands down. Her breaths came fast. Her alien eyes glowed faintly, reflecting both fear and wonder. Ryan glanced at her. Reading her every move, he slowed down, letting the notes fall one by one. It's okay, he said softly. Just breathe with it. Let it pass through you. Lyra hesitated, then closed her eyes. The sound flowed around her. She noticed it had a pattern, a rhythm, each note connected to the next like a thread weaving into a cloth. It was not chaos. It was order hidden inside noise. Her shoulders loosened slightly. Her heartbeat slowed. For the first time, she was not only hearing the sound, she was beginning to listen. Ryan's smile grew. He shifted into a slightly stronger tune, not loud, but with more energy. The guitar's voice deepened, carrying emotion. He was telling a story through the strings. His fingers moved with confidence, and the melody filled the room like light. Lyra gasped quietly. Her ears twitched again, but this time she did not step back. The sound touched something inside her, something she had never known. She could almost feel Ryan's emotions, his joy, his longing, his fire spilling out. Through the music, it's alive, she whispered without meaning to. Ryan looked up. Yes, that's it. Music is alive. It's a voice without words. Lyra opened her eyes. She stared at him with confusion. But why? Make it loud. Why make it so strong that it shakes the walls? Ryan strummed a stronger note, letting it vibrate in the air. Because sometimes feelings are too big for soft whispers. Sometimes we need the sound to be loud, to show the world what's inside us. That's what rock is. Lyra's hands trembled. She thought of her people. Hiding their emotions under silence, were they weaker because of it? Did they fear their own hearts the same way she feared these sounds? Ryan saw her struggling and softened the tune again. He nodded to the empty chair across from him. "Come sit, it's easier if you're closer." Her legs refused to move at first. Fear gripped her tightly, but slowly, step by step, she walked. Forward, she sat on the chair, keeping her back straight, her hands locked together. The guitar was only a few feet away, and the sound felt stronger. Her body tensed, but she stayed, her breathing shaky. Ryan played again, this time mixing soft and strong notes. Lyra felt her chest tighten at the louder ones, but she did not run. She focused on the gentle parts, the rhythm guiding her like a rope across a dark bridge. Her mind whispered, "It's too much." But her heart whispered louder, "Stay." Minutes passed. Like hours, sweat touched her forehead, but slowly she realized something. The sound was not hurting her. It was only frightening her, and fear was not the same as pain. Ryan finally stopped. Letting the last note fade into silence, he looked at her with gentle eyes. "How do you feel?" Lyra sat frozen. Her hands shook slightly, but her face carried no tears this time. Instead, her lips parted with quiet words. "It did not destroy me." Ryan chuckled softly. "Of course not. It's only music." Lyra tilted her head, her glowing eyes thoughtful. It was strange. "But I wanted to know what came next, even when I was afraid. I wanted to hear more." Ryan's smile grew wide. "That's how it begins, Lyra. You've taken your first step into music." She lowered her gaze, unsure of herself. Fear still lingered, but now curiosity was stronger, and deep inside, for the first time, she wondered if maybe sound was not an enemy after all. That night, as she returned to her room, her ears still echoed with the melody. She lay awake, replaying the notes in her mind, and instead of trembling, she whispered quietly, "I want to hear it again." The next evening arrived with heavy clouds. Thunder rumbled far away. Lyra stood again in the hallway, her hands pressed together, her heart racing. Tonight, Ryan had promised to play something stronger, not just soft notes, but real rock. She was afraid. Her body remembered the storm of sound from that first night. But her mind remembered the gentle melody too. She was caught between fear and curiosity. Her ears twitched nervously as she raised her hand and knocked on his door. Ryan opened it with a grin. His guitar already rested on his lap. Posters of wild concerts stared from the walls, and the air carried the faint smell of polished wood and strings. "You came," he said. "I wasn't sure if you would." Lyra stepped inside slowly. "I don't know if I'm ready." Ryan leaned back in his chair, his smile calm. "That's normal. No one is ready the first time. But trust me, music only asks you to listen." Lyra sat stiffly in the chair across from him. Her glowing eyes followed his every move, her fingers pressed tightly together in her lap. "If it becomes too much," she said firmly, "I will leave." "Fair enough," Ryan said. He adjusted the strings, then looked at her. "Remember, you are safe. It's just sound, nothing else." The first strum came like lightning. The guitar roared louder than before, strong and alive. Lyra flinched, her hands rising toward her ears, but she stopped halfway. Her breath quickened. Her chest pounded with each vibration. The notes came faster, harder, filling the small room. The sound pushed against her, heavy but not crushing. Her whole body trembled. Her instincts screamed to run, but she stayed, her eyes wide, locked on Ryan's hands. He played with passion, his face glowing with energy. Each chord was like fire bursting into the air. But it was fire with shape, fire that danced. His foot tapped on the floor, keeping rhythm. His head moved with the beat. He was not attacking. He was alive. Lyra gasped, her heart pounded. But something new stirred inside. Beneath the fear, she felt a strange pull again. The sound was frightening. Yes, but it was also thrilling. It was like standing near the edge of a cliff, terrified but unable to look away. Her ears twitched at every crash of sound, her breath shallow. But her hands slowly lowered from her face. She forced herself to keep listening, every part of her. Wanted to understand, Ryan noticed. His eyes softened as he played. He did not slow down, but he shifted into a melody hidden inside the storm. The guitar sang loudly, but with beauty beneath the roar. It was power with meaning, chaos shaped into order. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. She did not know why. The music shook her body, yet it also reached her heart. She could feel emotions pouring out of Ryan. Raw and honest. His joy, his strength. His defiance, it was all inside the sound. Her people had always said strong sound was dangerous, but here it was, strong and alive. Not to destroy, but to share. She pressed her hand to her chest, feeling the vibration inside her bones. She whispered, "Why? Does it feel like this?" Ryan smiled through the music. "Because it's real. Lyra, this is the human heart. This is what it sounds like when we refuse to stay silent." Her tears slipped down her cheeks. Her fear was still there, but it was breaking piece by piece. The wall she had built her whole life was cracking under the storm of sound. Minutes passed. The music rose and fell like waves crashing against rocks. Lyra's breathing steadied. She leaned forward slightly, not back. Her eyes locked on Ryan's hands as if searching for the secret hidden in every note. Finally, the last chord rang out, hanging in the air before fading into silence. Ryan lowered his guitar, sweat shining on his forehead. He looked at her carefully. Well, Lyra sat frozen. Her hands trembled, her cheeks wet. Her voice came out weak, but clear. "I did not break." Ryan chuckled softly. "Of course not. You're stronger than you think." Lyra wiped her tears, confused by her own emotions. It was loud, it was frightening, but also it was beautiful. Ryan leaned forward, his eyes full of pride. "That's rock, Lyra. It's both storm and light, it's fear and courage." Together, her chest rose and fell slowly. She whispered, "I thought humans were dangerous. I thought you carried weapons of sound. But now, I think maybe you carry something else, something I do not understand yet." Ryan smiled warmly. "We carry music, and it can change everything." Lyra lowered her gaze, her fear still there, but weaker now. In its place, a spark of something new had begun. It was not just curiosity anymore, was desire. A wish to hear more, to feel more, to understand. That night, as she left his room, her steps were unsteady. Her heart still thundering with echoes of the sound, she looked at her trembling hands and whispered to herself, "Maybe I can learn." And in that moment, the alien girl who once feared noise had taken her first step across the barrier. Her life, and perhaps her people's, would never be the same again. The next day was quiet. A gentle breeze passed through the windows carrying the scent of rain. Lyra sat on the porch steps, her glowing eyes watching the sky. Her mind was heavy, filled with the storm of sound she had heard the night before. She touched her chest where the vibrations still lingered. It was strange. She had survived the noise, even found beauty in it, yet her fear had not completely left. Instead, it now mixed with curiosity, like two rivers joining together. Ryan walked out of the house, holding his guitar as always. His easy smile made her tense shoulders relax. "Morning, Lyra," he said, sitting beside her. She glanced at the guitar and frowned slightly. "Why do you always carry it?" Ryan chuckled, "Because it's part of me. Some people wear jewelry, some carry books. I carry this. It helps me breathe." Lyra tilted her head, her voice soft but full of wonder. "How can wood and strings help you breathe?" He strummed a soft note. the sound gentle in the open air. Because music carries emotions, when I can't say how I feel, the guitar speaks for me. Lyra stared at the strings vibrating under his fingers. Her people never believed in showing. To many emotions, to them, silence was safety. Yet here was a human who believed sound was strength. She whispered, "Last night. I felt your feelings. I did not understand them, but I felt them." Ryan nodded slowly. That's music. It's like opening your heart and letting someone see inside. Rock is loud because sometimes the feelings are too big to whisper. Lyra's eyes lowered. On my world, we sing too, but only soft songs. They are called light songs. They are used for peace. They calm the mind. Ryan's smile grew. See? That's music too, just a different style. But imagine this: what if peace and power could mix? What if your light songs and our rock stood side by side? Lyra thought deeply. Her mind showed her people sitting in quiet halls, humming gentle melodies. She could not imagine them facing the storm of sound Ryan had played. Yet, something inside told her it was possible. Her voice shook slightly. Why do humans need such strong sounds? Ryan leaned back against the railing, looking at the sky. His voice grew thoughtful. Because life isn't always soft, we face wars, storms, pain, loneliness. Sometimes silence isn't enough. Rock gives us a way to fight back without weapons. It gives us strength. His words echoed in her heart. Her people avoided all pain, but humans used sound to face it. She realized they were not as weak as she once thought. Lyra turned to him, her glowing eyes serious. When you play, it feels like your spirit is calling out, like it wants the universe to hear. Is that true? Ryan's lips curved into a small smile. Exactly. Music is a cry, a laugh, a battle, a dream. It's everything we can't hide. Lyra's fingers touched her ears. Remembering the first night when she thought she would break, now she felt different. I want to understand more, she said. I want to know what it means when humans shout with sound. Ryan grinned. Then you're ready for the next step. He strummed harder, the notes bouncing in the air, still gentle, but carrying a spark of power. You're not just hearing anymore. Lyra, you're listening. Lyra's body trembled, but this time it wasn't only fear. She felt a strange energy rising inside her, a courage she had never known. The sound didn't chase her away. It pulled her closer. She leaned forward, her voice soft. What do the words mean in your songs? Last night, I thought I heard a voice. Ryan nodded. Yes, many rock songs have lyrics. They tell stories of struggle, of hope, of rebellion. Some are about love, some about loss. Every song has meaning. Lyra's eyes widened. So the sound is not just noise, it is a story. Exactly. Ryan said, smiling warmly. Every guitar, every drum, every voice, it all tells a story. That's why humans love it, because it's like hearing our souls speak. Lyra sat in silence, her mind spinning. For so long she had believed sound was only danger. But now she saw it could be language. It could carry truth, even across worlds. Ryan saw her thoughtful face and leaned closer. You know, Lyra, maybe one day you'll play too. Maybe you'll find your own story inside the strings. Her glowing eyes widened in shock. Me? No, I could never. Ryan chuckled. That's what every musician says before they begin. Lyra turned away, embarrassed, but her lips curved into the smallest smile for the first time. She imagined herself holding the strange wooden object, feeling the strings, letting sound flow from her hands. The idea scared her, but it also excited her. As the evening grew darker, the two sat together, the human strumming softly and the alien girl listening closely. The fear was not gone, but something new had taken root, a fragile connection, a bridge built from sound, and deep inside, Lyra wondered if this connection could change not just her, but her entire people. The evening was warm. The sun dipped low, painting the sky with red and gold. Ryan sat in his room, tuning the guitar. His fingers moved easily, his face calm and focused. Lyra stood in the doorway, silent, watching him. She had listened to him many times now, first with fear, then with confusion, now with curiosity. But tonight was different. Tonight, Ryan had asked her not just to listen, he wanted her to join. Her stomach tightened. I don't think I can, she whispered. Ryan looked up, his eyes gentle. You don't need to know how, just follow the beat, tap your hands, or your feet. That's all. Lyra stepped into the room, her glowing eyes darted to the posters. The lights, the strange human symbols, all of it still felt wild and dangerous, but Ryan's calm smile anchored her. She sat down slowly in the chair across from him. He began with soft notes, gentle like a heartbeat. The sound filled the air, not heavy, not frightening. His foot tapped lightly on the floor. Keeping rhythm like this, he said, nodding at her. Just tap along. Don't think too much, feel it. Erez's hands gripped her knees tightly, her body tense. The sound rose and fell around her. Her ears twitched at every note. Fear whispered in her mind. Stop, stop, it will break you.
No.
But another voice whispered louder. Stay. Her fingers loosened slightly. She lifted her right hand and tapped it softly against her knee. At first, clumsy, out of time, Ryan noticed, but did not laugh. He only smiled wider, his guitar guiding her. Good. Just let it flow. Lyra tried again. Her hand tapped faster. This time, closer to the beat. She felt the rhythm touch her chest, steady and alive. Her breath slowed, her fear did not vanish, but it bent, turning into something else. Ryan shifted into a stronger melody. His guitar roared brighter, yet the rhythm stayed steady. Lyra tapped faster, matching him. Her ears twitched at the louder notes. But she did not cover them. She pushed through. Her body trembled, but her eyes shone with something new. The rhythm carried her, pulling her along for the first time. She was not only listening, she was part of it. Ryan laughed softly, joy in his voice. That's it, Lyra, you've got it. Lyra gasped. Her tapping grew steady. Her heartbeat matched the rhythm. Something warm rose inside her chest, spreading through her body. It was strange, powerful, and yet wonderful. She felt her lips curve slightly. A small, hesitant smile formed. Her first smile since arriving on Earth. Ryan saw it and froze for a second, his hands still moving across the strings. His own grin widened. You're smiling? He said, almost in disbelief. Lyra touched her lips quickly, shocked. Am I? Yes, Ryan said with pride. That's what music does. It reaches places words cannot. Her cheeks warmed. She lowered her gaze, but the smile stayed. The sound had carried her past fear into a feeling she had never known. Joy. The melody grew stronger, and she tapped harder, her whole body moving slightly with the rhythm. The fear in her chest melted with each beat. Her ears twitched, but no longer from pain, they twitched with excitement. Ryan leaned closer, his voice blending with the sound. See, Lyra, you thought this was a weapon, but it's not. It's freedom. Her eyes lifted, glowing softly. It feels like flying, she whispered. Ryan nodded. That's what it is. It takes you higher, above fear, above silence. For a moment, Lyra imagined her people hearing this. She saw their quiet halls filled with roaring sound, their serious faces breaking into smiles. The thought made her chest ache. Could music really do that? Could it change more than just her? The final chord rang out, echoing through the room. Lyra sat still, her hand frozen in mid-tap, her chest rising and falling quickly. Her smile, faint but real, her eyes glistening with strange light. Ryan lowered the guitar, watching her closely. So, how was it? Lyra swallowed hard, her voice trembling. It was frightening and strange, but I felt alive, Ryan chuckled. That's the spirit. That's rock. Lyra, psh, it scares you, shakes you, but in the end, it sets you free. She sat quietly, her thoughts racing. For so long she had lived in fear of sound. But now, in this small, human room with one human boy and his guitar, she had smiled for the first time. As she rose to leave, Ryan stopped her gently. Lyra, he said softly, remember this moment, one day. It will mean more than you know. She paused at the doorway, her hand on the frame. She looked back at him, her lips still curved in that small smile. I already know, she whispered, and with that, she stepped into the hallway. Her heart lighter than ever before. Her fear was still there, but it was no longer in control. Something greater had taken its place. Hope that night, as she lay awake, she touched her lips again, remembering the smile, remembering the rhythm, remembering the freedom. She whispered to herself, I want to feel it again. Asterisk. The night was quiet again. Stars glittered in the sky. The world seemed calm. But Lyra's heart was not. She lay awake in her small room, staring at the ceiling. Her thoughts spun around the storm of music, the rhythm, the fire that had shaken her. She touched her lips, remembering the smile that had come without warning. For her people, smiling was rare, almost forbidden. But here, with Ryan's music, it had come like sunlight breaking through dark clouds. The next evening, she returned to Ryan's room. He was waiting, guitar in hand. His eyes lit up when he saw her back again. He asked warmly. Lyra nodded, her voice quiet but firm. I want to hear more. I want to understand. Ryan grinned. Good. Tonight, I'll show you something different. A song with words. Listen carefully. He began to play. The guitar roared with power. But this time, his voice joined. His singing filled the air raw, strong, and full of emotion. The words told of struggle, of standing tall when the world tried to break you. Lyra's eyes widened. The sound was more than vibration. It was a story. Every word carried weight. Every note carried feeling. She felt the message inside her chest. Her ears twitched, but did not close. Her fear was gone, replaced by awe. Her heart beat faster. She whispered, I can feel everything you are saying, even without knowing all the words. Ryan nodded between chords. That's music. It crosses language. It speaks to the soul. Lyra's hands rested on her chest. She could feel the song like a pulse inside her body. She thought of her people again, silent and calm, never allowing such storms. And for the first time, she pitied them. When the song ended, Ryan set the guitar aside. His eyes searched hers. Well, Lyra's voice trembled. It was not just sound, it was truth. Your truth. Ryan smiled faintly. Yes, music is truth made loud. It's how we tell the universe we are here. That we will not be silent. Her glowing eyes softened. My people believe silence is safety, but maybe silence is only hiding. Ryan leaned closer. Then maybe you can show them. You can carry this sound back with you. Lyra's breath caught. The thought was terrifying. Her people would be shocked. Maybe even afraid. But maybe they needed it, just as she had. She whispered, if they hear it, they may fear it. The same way I did. Ryan's grin widened. Then show them what you found. Don't show them the fear. Show them the smile. Her cheeks warmed at the memory. The first smile that had broken through her fear. Yes, that was the proof. She had felt alive, stronger, braver. That was what her people needed too. She looked at Ryan, her voice steady now. You changed me. Ryan, I will never hear the universe the same way again. Ryan's expression softened. No, Lyra. You changed yourself. I just played the strings. For a long moment, silence filled the room. But it was no longer the silence of fear. It was a silence alive with meaning. Then Lyra did something she never imagined. She reached out her hand. Slowly, nervously, toward the guitar, her fingers brushed the wooden surface. Trembling, Ryan's eyes widened with delight. "You want to try?" Her glowing eyes flickered with doubt. But she nodded. "I want to feel it myself." He placed the guitar carefully in her hands, guiding her fingers over the strings. The weight surprised her. It was heavy but warm. She pressed gently, and a single note rang out, shaky and rough. Lyra gasped, her chest tightened. I made it." Ryan laughed softly. "Yes, that's your first sound, Lyra. It belongs to you." Her smile returned, wider this time. She pressed again. Another note echoing into the room. Each sound felt like a spark in her chest. Fear was gone, replaced by courage. She looked up at Ryan, her eyes bright. "When I return to my world, I will play for them. Maybe they will fear it, but maybe they will also smile." Ryan nodded proudly. "Then you'll give them a gift. The same gift you found here." Lyra held the guitar closer, almost hugging it. The alien girl who once thought sound was death now saw it as life. She whispered softly, almost like a vow. "Music will change everything." That night, as she walked back to her room, the stars above seemed brighter. The silence no longer felt empty, for in her heart she carried the rhythm, the storm, the truth of human music, and deep inside, she knew her people's world would never be the same because one human had played, and one alien had listened, and together they had broken the barrier of fear with the power of sound.